though well-intentioned it is.
Yeah.
Barry Coates.
Tēnā koe te mangai. I rise to speak about this bill and commend Derek Ball for introducing it. This is an absolutely important aim, as other speakers have said. The number of young people not in education and employment or training totals around 90,000. 21% of those kids are in that cohort are Māori, 17% Pacifica, compared to the total for the overall population of 11.5%. And we note that this number of people who are not in education and training has increased dramatically under this government. So we commend this bill in terms of coming up with a solution. The problems of unemployment, unrest, crime, violence, and above all the waste of the potential talent and the lives of young people certainly makes it worthwhile for this House to be considering new initiatives. The Green Party supports programs that engage young people, work readiness in order to build skills and confidence, the expansion of apprenticeships and vocational training, providing vocational advice and career guidance, and programs for participation in work in the community. These are the kind of programs that we think are part of a mix that can start to address these problems. We're also very aware that the concept of boot camps and military training has a long history in New Zealand. We recognise that in 1971 boot camps were introduced but then abandoned in 1981. And the government's program for boot camps in 2009 had a fairly mixed record, shall we say, with a cohort of 40 youth. It found an evaluation that half of those youth had subsequently reoffended, and in the 6 months following their leaving the service, the 10 youth had committed 126 offences within 6 months. By contrast, there have been some positive results from the Limited Service Volunteers program, which this program is largely based on. That program, being run by Defence and MSD, has had a number of successes in terms of getting young people into employment. However, there have also been some poor evaluations of it. In particular, in 2003, it was found that teens had been assaulted, abused and mocked, according to a military police investigation. That gives rise to considerable concern when we're talking about 15 to 17-year-olds, because as we know, the Limited Service Volunteers program is for youth of 18 and above. So we are concerned about introducing 15 or 16-year-olds into the military system. And for that reason, and for some of the concerns that come from overseas experience with similar training institutes in the Defence Forces, we have reservations. We don't think this is necessarily the best option to pursue going forward, although we commend the initiative in addressing this problem. Unfortunately, we're unable to support this bill. Thank you.
Dr. Parmjit Parmar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.